So look, the times, you see this right here? If you look up under here, right? So you have a general idea where these times are going. The times are from here, see this, to about right here. That's where all the times are at. This wheel well right here. So you gotta, so when you start from here and you go up to that concrete and you get ready to hit that concrete, you gotta start slowing down, right? And you just ease up to it because you will feel the times hit the concrete and then you let off of it. You understand what I'm saying? You just can't keep going across that. You gotta take your foot off this button. So if you start this up, it's on where the times won't come down until you flick this switch up. This switch right here is the pressure. How deep you want the times to go, blah, 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 right? So that's why they got these little bars here so you can feel, so you can kind of take your foot off of it, or you either on this side like this, but this is to kind of navigate your foot to, for this button over here. Otherwise, you're like this. So if you're not plugging no holes and you're going across the concrete, take your foot off that button and go across the concrete and then go to the other side. And when you get to here, you can kind of gauge it from where the times start at. I'm gonna do an example and then I'm gonna have you do the next one. But hold that. I'm gonna show you what I mean by starting, going. As soon as you get like you're getting ready to go to the concrete, you start slowing down, and you got to remember that once this area starts getting up to that concrete, that you got to let your foot off those times. And sometimes you get experience, you can ride up to that concrete and then kind of just gently feel it that you're right bumped up against it. But this is how you turn it on. Go fast on this thing either. It's like to go fast. We're not trying to not go fast. And then you will hit this right here. Now look. You know what? You'll feel it. Let the foot off of it and go down. it off. I turned it back off so that you can get a feel of turning that on. And then anytime that you're done, you got to hit this switch off right here so that put it back down to where the times won't come down. That means it's not going to operate. Even if you made a mistake and put your foot on this button while you were going, it's not going to come out because this is off. But if you don't, and you make a mistake and hit that, that's why they got these right here so that you know your barrier or the area where that button's at. So if you're just standing here, you'll know not to go up over there. So go ahead and try it. Like I said, when you start getting to these areas and stuff like that, you gotta slow down. It's not a fast thing until you're in the open area where you can kind of go a little bit more speed out that way. But when you in this little tight area right here, you gotta just take your time. So start it up, take it out of park, and put it to where the times are. Pull it up, pull it up. Feel yourself go up. No, take your foot off the button. Now go across. Right there, right there. Put your foot on the button. Guys, since she said that the irrigation system was dug 6 inches down or whatever, but sometimes you can't go with that. I've been at places where those are right sitting at top. They didn't take them deep enough. So I didn't really want to plug this too bad, but that's a good enough plug to get us started for the first aeration at this yard. So once he starts getting in this softer area over here, you can see the plugs are a little bit deeper. That area over here is drier. So, but these plugs right here are kind of what you want to see. But as you can tell, the house is kind of shading this off. That's why it's growing better right here. And the sun is kind of bearing down on this over here. So it's a little bit drier on this end. And it's a little bit harder, compacted. That's why you get smaller plugs over here. But I'll probably have him run over this one more time on this side. So that he could get this area right here. Like that. The question is, how are you going to get this little area right here? Either you come around here, turn around, go up, turn up, okay, stop, now do it. I want you to go over that part one more time. I'm gonna have him go over this part one more time. I just want him to go over that part one more time, guys, because this is the part that's kind of more dried out. Once you give it a little bit more, a couple of more plugs on this side, it's not going to be a big deal. And it's practice for him, so he'll be all right. This side is pretty good because of the shade and everything of the house and the fence. So the grass grows a little bit better. So I'm trying to teach him how to do this in sections when you got like a nice sized yard like this. to focus on this section, the back section, side section, and we already did this front section and over there. It's not too big of a learning curve. You just got to get used to the machine, the feel of it when the times go up and down, and the bumps. So, you know, just the way the machine feels while it's riding. So I'll have him do one more pass through here, and then we'll go to the back. Or we'll start on this side over here. So we did the outside. We did this whole side over here. We'll do this part right here. And then we'll do the side and then the back part. So you got to get this like right there. So since we're done with these, I'm gonna take some of these flags because got a couple of spots. What? Yeah. Remember, these are where your times are at. So that green thing, so you're good. You're good. Good. So now you got to get into here. Get here. There. Bag it back. Bag it back. Bag it back. you gotta come right here. There's this spot right here. Just come on through. Okay? Now go through again. Just gotta make sure you hit all these spots in here. So now we'll do this area right here. So guys, this is where the training comes in at, and this is what takes time. This is what takes time right here, because while he's doing that, I could be already taking the walk behind spreader and spreading and doing stuff too, so that we can finish quicker. But I'm gonna have him get his training in and go from there. So it takes a little bit more time, but it is what it is. The games don't come on till 12 o'clock anyway, so we're good. Anyway, guys, we'll have him do this whole area. Some of these spots you could get in. He could probably slide in between here, but, you know, it is what it is. I don't want to take any chances. But he could bag it up a little bit and hit here. But you got these power lines and all that stuff. You never know how deep these little lines are for your cable and all that stuff. So... yeah, it just takes time to get used to taking your foot off the turn. Because if you keep your foot on there and you try to turn, sometimes you can tear up the turf like that. So it's just best to take your foot off of it and then put it back on when you turn it. Just to kind of strategize the way you're doing things. So then we'll do this part, and then there's a part behind the gate, and then we're doing it inside in here, and we'll be done aerating. Now we can get to the overseeding and putting the fertilizer down, and that'll be easy then. So. But yeah, guys, once again, you can take your business at the end of the year to another level just by having an aerator. this yard is going to be, so you're looking at this yard, right? Looking at this yard, the front here. We're going to overseed, aerate, overseed this. She got a backyard, small backyard. Actually small. The only big size is this right here. This is all her property right here. So, but that being said, right? That being said, you have, let me walk. I think he's good with the aerating the rest of this. Then he'll go to the back when he pick up some of these flags. Just so that we can get some things taken care of while we're waiting, but while I'm talking to you. But say for instance, yeah, see, once you start doing it, it's just little techniques that you gotta learn when you're actually doing it. So, but say for instance, you grab you an aerator, you'll make money in the season where it starts slowing down. Okay, so that's the benefits of having that aerator. 2, a typical yard like this, I'm gonna walk away out of here. I think it was like $7.25 to do the aeration, overseeding. Now the materials cost about $150. See, I don't mind sharing some numbers with you guys. I don't. So the material for the seed, the seed, and the fertilizer came out to about $150, and this job is going to be about $7.25 or something like that. I got to go look at it again, and it's going to only take us, I don't know, hour and a half maybe. So, but you guys can see the numbers. And there are companies out there that charge even more than that. They charge even more than that. So, it's crazy the amount of money that you can make at the end of the season overseeding, aerating. So all this compacted hard soil will get wet and everything, and then kind of get back to normal. But she's let it dry out too much where the soil is cracking. When you see that, that means you're not watering it enough. You good? So, he ain't finished yet. I thought he was finished. So she had her irrigation system put in last year. You can kind of see still where they trenched the lines and everything. So it's a good thing, but sooner or later that'll be covered up. That's why you have to mark all these spots. And she was saying, oh, the weeds are growing where all the stuff is at. Yeah, I mean, like weeds are growing right here in the cracks because they can hide out closer to here than out there. You can see that a lot of the weeds are growing around the spigots and the sprinkler heads. All these sprinkler heads got weeds surrounding them. So that's when you got to come in and spot spray them, things like that. So we're done with this over here. He's aerated all this, so we're good. Guys, these are all flags that I get out of people's yards that, you know, the city comes and marks stuff, and then weeks and weeks go by and they still got these flags out there. And I don't like any flags in my yards when I'm cutting, because these can sling out from underneath and projectile. These things could go right into your tires. This is how you get a flat. This is how you get a flat tire. You'll run over this will suck it underneath the deck and shoot it out somewhere. Or this is how you could, I mean, I've seen one of these just shoot out from under the doggone lawnmower into the fence. And like, wow. Anyway, guys, if you stuck around for this video, I do appreciate it. See how all the weeds are growing around the sprinkler heads? I was wondering when he was going to turn around, because he can actually start at the gate right there, because he done already went down already. How the weeds are going by all these. Now we're done. Now we got to just go in the inside. So these those little tight areas that kind of take that you got to pay attention to. He's not going to get nowhere near this one anyway, so. There! Bag back and then go. Now go. Doesn't matter. Sometime in these corners you can get hung up with the grass. So once you're done with the aeration, just turn the foot pedal off. So we're done aerating. We could have been done quicker, but since we're learning, that took us just the amount of time with the tape or the video, 40 minutes. So we'll go over here now. Now we'll just end up doing some fertilizing, and then we'll put the seed down last. How do you guys put your seed? I mean, your sequence of putting seed stuff down. That's it, that's it, that's it. Turn it off. That's all you do is just pull it up, and that's it. So, all right, guys, so you saw the aeration, so let us get done with this, and thanks for rocking with us. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.